a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
A half-blood of the eldest gods shall listen to this bonus show against all odds.
I'm Charlie from Cabin 13.
And I'm Ray from Cabin 12. Welcome to our show, where we talk about Phineas and Ferb now.
Apparently, just Phineas and Ferb. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Ever again. As I found out before we decided these were going to be the 2 episodes we were going to do for the next couple months, there's also an Atlantis episode, and God, poor planning, because we covered Atlantis on the main pod, so that'll be somewhere in the near future.
And so we could still do it, but also, who even cares about Atlantis? It's not even real mythology, as we discovered.
But it is, also, as Darian pointed out.
It's folk mythology. It's modern mythology, kind of, a little bit.
It's hard to define these things. But, we'll do that someday in the future. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Troy Story.
Which is very funny, and is also a joke that I've seen people independently make on Tumblr from this episode.
Okay. I need to explain this title here, because that's literally what the Iliad means. like Ilium was the Greek word for Troy, I guess? Yeah. Ilium was the word for Troy. So the Iliad is just the story of Troy. Troy Story. And yeah, just Troy Story, Toy Story.
It's delightful. It's everything.
Did we talk about, or was that, I can't remember if it was me and you or if it was me and Taylor. This podcast is a time for me.
I know. We've mentioned Troy's Story before, but I don't know where you're going.
Who was Achilles and who was Patroclus, Woody and Buzz?
Yes, that was us.
Okay. I'm just like, that's in my memory. And I know I have a list that I want to draw this. But who did I talk about this with? Who? Yeah.
I can't believe that they didn't put Patroclus, whatever, in this episode. Can't believe he got left out.
Again,
it's fucked up.
That's my feelings about this episode. This episode was a way for them to not ship Buford and Baljeet, specifically.
Literally!
Because who would have been Patroclus? Baljeet!
Yeah, and so they had to put them on opposite sides of the fucking...
Yeah!
The fucking war, so that they wouldn't be doing that.
Exactly! God, I feel like Ferb should have been Hector, I feel like somebody else should have been Hector, and Baljeet would have been Patroclus. Because that's the roles that they play, right?
Yeah, no, literally. I'm glad that we've cleared this up, because that's the biggest gripe with this episode.
Yeah, that was my feeling.
Is that they were like, we can't have gay.
I'm just like, guys, you had a clear parallel to Achilles and Patroclus, and you didn't use it. Instead, you're like, Buford, I want to fight somebody. I'm gonna fight Baljeet. It's like, I mean, yes, but usually they're also on the same team?
Yeah, no. Baljeet is Buford's, minion guy.
His boyfriend.
In literally the last time that we did this, not the last episode.
The first time that we did
this. The last Phineas and Ferb episode.
The first time we did it.
They were on the same chariot race team because, that's what Buford does. He makes Baljeet do shit with him.
Buford's like, you're going down, Baljeet, but we're on the same team. Well, you're going down with me. Anyway, they're boyfriends. Last time we talked about
literally
Doof and Perry as the ship. This time we're talking about Buford and Baljeet as the other ship.
We know what we're about. We do get some Phineas and Isabella actually in the episode, but...
That's the other problem I have with this episode.
Oh, yeah?
Is the Paris and Helen propaganda.
Yeah.
That's just everything that talks about Troy. That's just how it fucking works. The propaganda is oh yeah, Paris and Helen, they were so in love. No, Paris got permission from the goddess of love to be yeah, she's your prize, go kidnap her. So he did.
Yeah? Lil fucked up, huh?
Someday we will do an episode either on like the Iliad or just the Trojan War, something of that nature. It's really hard to talk about the whole Troy story. Like, the Iliad does not actually cover the whole Troy story, is the thing.
Right.
It talks about the story of Achilles in the middle, or near the end, I should say, of the Trojan War. So that's why it's so weird, you know? Like, if you want to talk about the Trojan War, all of it, that spans, like, so many different works. There in fact is an OSP video on it. Where Red was like, yeah, I have to talk about like 1 million different sources to talk about the whole story. Just the Iliad is just like, Achilles didn't want to fight because like someone stole I don't want to talk about it, but like I put myself in this position. His bride slave. Yeah, one of those situations. So he doesn't want to fight, and then they give her back to him, and he's like, meh, I'm still just gonna hide here and not fight, so you guys can lose the war. And then, of course, you know, Patroclus goes out, wears his armor, is like, I'm gonna go fight! Yeah! Gets killed. All of that shit.
Yeah.
It's great.
They did a few of the, like, major plot points of the Trojan War in this episode, but they missed all of the emotional resonance.
Yeah. I mean, so I will say it does kind of fit that Buford would be Achilles. You know what the first word of the Iliad is, bro?
Oh, I should? Is it rage or
yeah, it's
something
rage.
Like that? Okay, good. Wow, I passed the quiz, guys.
Yay! You knew a thing. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, it fits so well. Achilles is just like, that's his fatal flaw, to put it in Percy Jackson terms. It's just rage. He should have been like a child of Ares or something, you know? But yeah, so like the Iliad is just talking about like his little time in the Trojan War before he gets killed. Doesn't have anything, doesn't have the Trojan horse, it doesn't have Helen being kidnapped, it doesn't have like, the end of the fucking war. Doesn't have the beginning of the fucking war. It's just a random spot in the middle. God damn it.
So, not to like go super out of order for the episode, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
One thing, the joke that I find very funny in this episode is that Candace's book club with all her teen friends is now reading the Iliad, but none of them actually read it. Candace finds it like really boring, and just watches their reenactment instead.
That's just a trope of book clubs, like in media.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Whenever,
which is really too bad. Reading is good and cool, guys.
Like, this also happened in a Sweet Life of Zack and Cody episode, where it was the Pride and Prejudice episode. I do know too much about Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. They all had to, it was London, and all of her rich friends were like, we're gonna have a book club. We're gonna read Pride and Prejudice. I think Maddie suggested it to them. The connection here is Ashley Tisdale. Ashley Tisdale in a fucking book club. And of course, they didn't read the book. And then, of course, Maddie is like, but it's this really cool story about this and this and this. And then I'm pretty sure they do all read it, and they do have a really good discussion about it, and it turns into a catfight.
Delightful.
Because they're all, you know, rich girls, and they're like, oh yeah, it's like if I dated your brother because you're poorer than me, or something.
Great.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, where I was going, though, was that the reason that all of the children are doing a reenactment is that they also had a book club where they did, in fact, read the Iliad and all really enjoyed it. Okay. Phineas and Ferb, their ages, how old are they? Not a clue, bro.
I'm pretty sure at one point I tried looking up, like, how old they are, and the age range was weird. It's like they're somewhere between 8 and 12.
Googling it currently, Wikipedia says between 8 and 10.
8 and 10. Okay. Regardless, I don't think you would be able to read the Iliad at age 8, but again, they're fucking Phineas and Ferb.
Bro, but they're Phineas and Ferb, though. And their entire friend group is just like that. Buford has been to France and knows French. Like, Baljeet is like a super genius They're
And Isabella would do
engineering-
anything for Phineas.
Yeah, and Isabella can do anything she sets her mind to
True.
because she's full power.
God.
Like, they're just all like this.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, the only people who could really read it are Phineas and Ferb and Baljeet, but, like, no, you're right. Isabella and Buford totally could. But also Buford, as he is very Buford, he misses the entire point of it. He did read it.
Yeah.
But
He just likes stab, stab, stab.
yes.
Okay, the Phineas and Ferb wiki says less than 15 canonically, but presumably between 7 and 12 years old.
God.
I'm assuming that they're elementary schoolers, late elementary school, and that
Yeah.
Candace is early high school.
Yeah, they have to be, like, elementary school. My brain says that because of Mala Murphy's Law, because I'm pretty sure those were middle school kids, right?
Yes, and these are definitely younger than the Milo Murphys
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. So maybe,
Bringing
like,
it back to Milo Murphy, guys. I hope you all enjoy hearing about that show. Go watch it.
that is
Weird Al is there.
the subliminal messaging of our bonus show is just watch Milo Murphy's Law. Yeah. So that is I do like that this is way better than the previous time we watched Phineas and Ferb episode. We're recording these one after another, guys.
Not to give you a peek behind the curtain. We literally just watched both of them and then recorded both of them.
The show is the peek behind the curtain, okay? But, like, this is a much better episode because, like, these things are actually, connected. Like, the Candace and the Phineas Ferb plot, it's all very connected.
I do feel like it is better put together than the last one, but I still don't think it hits near as hard as some of the earlier season episodes.
You're right. You're right. The Chariot episode is still a million times better because of, Paul Bunyan's where food is good, but not too good, eh?
But not too good, eh? That's not gonna be synced at all. Yeah. It was just, I don't know what they did in some of that early Phineas and Ferb, but I do think that the show probably went on a little bit too long, where it's like, you can't maintain that shit forever.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Yeah. It does happen.
But it is interesting to see how things have changed. Like, once again, Candace is just, like, enjoying the show. She does not care. Even once in this episode about busting them, it doesn't seem like. She's got her own shit going on. She's got her own life.
Yeah, correct. And again, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I think it's part that, like, she's maturing and everything, and also she's like, I got a stable boyfriend now. Like, I don't care about busting my brothers. She's grown a little bit.
She's really just moved on.
We love that for her.
I don't think that even comes up once this episode. Like,
you know what? Maybe this does happen after Candace versus the Universe.
That would make sense. Like, yeah, all the shit breaks and then their dad cleans it up because of the Doofenshmirtz plot. Like, Candace is not even involved.
Yeah.
With that.
So the Doofenshmirtz plot. My God, I relate so much.
Okay, no, Doofenshmirtz has fucking ADHD. Like,
is he okay? I wanna know. Is he also a hoarder? Like, is everything here also necessary? Or is it, like, just a bunch of random shit that he has collected?
Yeah, no, he said that Norm is gone, and that's why it's gotten this bad. Like, he does not organize anything, he does not get rid of anything. I think you're right, I think he's a hoarder. And that, like, he's got someone, an assistant, who helps him manage all that shit.
Yeah, Norm, you need to come back from vacation and help him fix that. I mean, it does get fixed, but still,
yeah,
Norm,
no,
he needs you.
Doofenshmirtz isn't even doing anything evil this episode, which is also funny. They're just like, we haven't heard from him, and, he's, like, half the reason we have a budget, so you better go check.
God, I love that. Yeah, he just needs a declutterinator. He made a declutterinator, he lost it, and then he...
God, that's such a fucking mood.
He hired a cleaning lady, and then he lost her, and then, God, Marco, water!
She's not very good at this.
This woman is gonna die.
Also, another thing that we are not even trying with anymore is the Doofenshmirtz trap here. Perry flies in through the door, just, like, knocks over a bunch of shit because there's shit all over. And then he just, like, walks up to Doofenshmirtz and onto a net, which is clearly visible. I think that it's just, like, part of the pattern that he gets trapped. I feel like that's even been addressed in some episodes where Doofenshmirtz is all like, could you get in the trap real quick so that we can have our conversation? He's like, oh yeah, okay.
I think the thing is, so Perry understands this relationship that he has with Doof. Again, we have to talk about their QPR. But, like, he understands, like, the terms of, like, how this has to work, how their dates
it makes
work.
Doofenshmirtz more comfortable to talk about his trauma, which a lot of his evil schemes are about, is his childhood trauma. It makes him more comfortable addressing that when the other person who he's discussing with is in a trap. And Perry's like, I understand this.
Is this BDSM?
There are certain rules of engagement, and they will step out of a scene if either one needs them to. Yes. 100%. Yes.
This is BDSM. Wow. Good to know. Anyway. I'm sorry, I just broke myself by thinking about that. Anyway.
I hope these are the hot takes y'all come to us for.
It's exactly what people want to hear. Yeah, so, my god. So, Buford is also recruiting a bunch of people for this Trojan War thing. We love it. And one of the guys is, in fact, Greek.
Yeah.
It's so
Buford.
funny. Oh, also, there's what's his name? Their extra friend who, like, follows them around. Irving.
Yeah, I also did not remember his name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he shows up, like, later, too. He's just, like, he's a Phineas and Ferb stalker.
Right. None of them like him, but he's allowed to hang out this episode because he brought baklava.
Yeah.
Which is valid.
You know, that's one of those things that's like, that's Greek. Sure, put it in the episode. Candace does initially try to read the Iliad. Doesn't work out, and so she just, like, watches the boys do their reenactment. Okay, we need to talk about the fact that this is a war reenactment, but it's not a Civil War reenactment, which is like, do those exist? Like war reenactments that aren't Civil War reenactments.
Yeah, absolutely. They do, like, Revolutionary War reenactments, too, in America. I'm sure that if we had other wars here, they'd do different ones, but, like, it's just complicated LARPing, bro. People just do this.
Do people that aren't Americans do things like this? Like, is this
I
a
do
solely
not fucking
American
know.
thing?
That's a real question, bruh.
Like, I want to know about war reenactments as, like, as a thing. I want to know about this live action role playing. And also, can we do more like this? Like, I want to do a Trojan War reenactment. Not the way they did it in the episode, but, like, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro, you need to get into LARPing. Go do it. I'm sure you could find a crew somewhere.
Bro, I don't leave my house.
No, me neither. But you could, is the thing.
Like, except when I have to go to work. The rest of the time, I am Wade from Kim Possible. That is my life.
I wish I was Wade from Kim Possible. He's got shit going on with his life.
You know, you're not wrong. He's too cool. Never mind. I'm not like him at all. So, yeah, very cool freaking war reenactment. Again, also Camp Half-Blood shit. This is some Camp Half-Blood shit right here.
No, that's so true. They would be doing this, because it's not actually a reenactment. It's more of a, I don't know what you would call this. It's a mock battle.
You know what? I don't actually know our rules for this. Are we allowed to do, like, spoilers on a show for, like, later things? Because I have a thought here.
I don't remember.
Okay, I'm just gonna say what it's from, and then y'all can skip ahead.
Do a quick warning. Yeah.
So, like, Heroes of Olympus spoilers, specifically, like, Son of Neptune onwards. This is some Camp Jupiter shit. Specifically.
Yeah, for real. Like, literally.
They do that. They literally mention, like, Rome wasn't built in a day, but this isn't Rome. But, like, that's what they do at Camp Jupiter. They build structures, and then everything, and then they have, like, a literal war reenactment. Not a reenactment, but, like, they play a war game or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, Camp Half-Blood is out there playing Capture the Flag, and Camp Jupiter's like, hold my beer. Watch this.
Yeah. Yeah, and spoilers, I guess. Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, so Doof is doing his shit, blah da da da. Okay, we have reference to the Trojan horse in the form of the Trojan platypus.
Which is delightful. And also, how could you not let that little guy in?
Is this also technically a reference to an earlier Phineas and Ferb episode? Where they made the toy that was Perry, but he's like made of wood? Do you not remember that episode?
I sort of remember that, but I don't remember like what the point was.
I guess the point was that they could make a toy and like it just doesn't do anything. Like that's it. That was the whole thing. They wanted to make a toy based off of Perry.
That's
it's
good.
Like, this is a toy, but it doesn't do anything, just like Perry. That's it. They were like, we can make toys ourselves.
Okay.
And then Candace had to wear a toy platypus costume because she was working at the toy store that day.
But yeah, wooden platypus seems related.
Yeah, and Irving is in the platypus. And then what does Buford roll up with like 5 seconds later? A giant wooden T-Rex that he crushes the platypus with and somehow does not kill Irving.
He just did that to be rude, which is on brand.
Yep. Yeah, so we have that, and then they...
Also, the T-Rex has laser vision, and that's why Buford wanted Ferb on his team.
Yep, of course. And then they have flying chariots. I'm sorry, this is a Percy Jackson Greek mythology thing. Like, they have fucking flying chariots! Also, I guess, a reference to the chariot episode.
Yeah, the chariots do look, like, almost identical to the shape that they used in the chariot episode, but then they just, like, take off.
Yeah. Also, the T-Rex is laser-proof.
Yeah, of
How?
course. Nice touch, Ferb.
How, Ferb? Yeah, it's just...
Okay, so it appears to be made of wood, so it must be some kind of special paint coating that stops plasma
No,
beams. I don't know.
No, it's just made of wood. And then Ferb was like, now it's laser-proof. Snaps fingers.
Just, like, hit the, like, laser-proof switch.
Yeah.
This is Phineas and Ferb.
Because it's Phineas and Ferb, and why the fuck not? God. Candace is just still watching this and be like, this is exactly what happened. They've been doing so much stuff that, like, wasn't related to the Trojan War before that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, Buford did, in fact, like, disarm Baljeet, kill Baljeet, whatever. He's not actually dead, but, like, you know, he's out of the battle now. He did not, you know, murder him and then parade his corpse around, on the back of a chariot. For all of Troy to see.
He should have, to be honest, just, like, thrown him on a chariot and just been like, haha.
Well, he's not on the chariot. He's, like, behind the chariot, like, dragging. Like, that's what happened. He dragged his corpse. It's fucking Achilles. Why you gotta be like that?
Also wanted to mention the song break just has some random guy in armor, and the singer is clearly Dan Povenmire.
I was gonna say
I appreciate.
It's one of them. It's one of them. It's the one with the voice. You know the voice.
Yes, the one with the voice. It's the guy who is both Doofenshmirtz and Vinny Dakota, which I would know his singing voice anywhere.
I can't tell the creators apart. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I know one has that voice and one has the other voice. And that's the important thing to note. Oh, there's also a joke in the show where, oh yeah, Helen, yeah, she launched 1,000 ships with her face.
Yeah.
Guys, that's not quite what you think it is. Like, yes, textually, but also, like, no.
It's just a silly little joke. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I think it's funny and cute. I'm just like, Buford would think that's how it worked, wouldn't he? God. Yeah, so how did the battle even end? Like Candace didn't see it.
Yeah, no, she had to go to book club. I feel like you're supposed to think that the joke is going to be that, like, she starts talking about, like, a big platypi and T-Rex and flying chariots, and then everyone's going to be like, Candace, what are you talking about?
But it's like, no.
Clearly didn't read the book, but then, like, no, they're all just like, oh, okay.
Also, like,
none of them read it either.
The fact that was technically, like, one of the credits scenes, because Phineas and Ferb is actually the original credit scenes thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, did they do it before the MCU? I don't know. When did Phineas and Ferb come out?
It might be older than any MCU. I don't know. I don't have a good grasp on that kind of thing.
Phineas and Ferb. 2007. Iron Man was 2008. Fuck yeah. Phineas and Ferb
Okay,
did it
but
first.
the first MCU movie is technically the Hulk movie, which does have a post-credit scene, which is older.
Okay, bro.
I mean, no one cares about it because it's
No,
bad.
bro. The Incredible Hulk, the one that's in the MCU, came out after Iron Man. Everyone does mix this up because there's like a bunch of Hulk movies.
I'm confused then.
It is the one that everyone is like, oh, yeah, I know it's in the MCU, but I don't care about it. But like, it did come out after Iron Man. And that's why
Okay.
Iron Man is in the end credit scene.
Huh. I've never seen it. I know that
I
the
saw it
actor
once
isn't the same actor.
in the most legal way, because we didn't own it.
Okay. I have heard every time that was before Iron Man. Huh. Wild.
No.
Oh,
Iron
maybe
Man
it's
was
first chronologically. Is that a thing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
As far
who
as-
knows then? Whatever.
Yeah. Most of the MCU was chronological except for like Captain Marvel,
Captain America.
Captain America, and Black Widow. Like, I think those are the ones that are the outliers of chronological, but otherwise, most of them are chronological. Yeah. Sorry. I don't mean to actually you. I'm just like, I
No,
I
please
know
do.
this fact.
I like not being wrong.
Yeah, so... God, I've forgotten the end of this episode. This is what happens when you look away from the TV for like 2 seconds and you're like, alright, this is a 10-minute episode. If I miss anything, I'm fucked. Yeah, the declutterator, I know it destroys all of Doofenshmirtz's shit. Does it just blow up? Yeah, it blows up.
It hits, Lawrence.
Yes.
Is that his name?
Yes. It hits, the dad. And
then he has to declutter the backyard, which is all destroyed now.
I love that. I love it so much. But also, like, I'm so sad that he missed the reenactment.
He would have loved it.
They mentioned him. They're like, your dad would have loved this, but he was, like, busy with something, I guess.
I think he was at work.
Yeah. He would have loved it
Which is
so
really
much.
too bad.
I want to know who they would have cast him as in the
Maybe he would have been Hector, and then we could have gotten our Patroclus, whatever.
There is no
I
correct...
did that both times.
Is there a correct way of saying it? I don't know. I hear people say it, like, 5 different ways all the time. But it's fine. Achilles' boyfriend. Also, of course, the cleaning lady, makes Doofenshmirtz pay him a bunch of money because says you'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Because she was fucking in there without water for 3 days, so it's amazing that she's alive.
Yeah, it is. My god. Poor lady. And yeah, and they have cake.
Yeah, Perry was technically just helping Doofenshmirtz out that time. He was like looking for his shit so that he could help him clean up his place.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun thing. Okay, so instead of Hey, Where's Perry, they did Hey, Where's Your Dad? Which I just mentioned.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking, for the listeners, I'm looking at the Phineas and Ferb wiki. And my god, just shout out to whoever updates that. That's so good that there's so much information here about the episode and the continuity and all the different like running gags of the show. Shout out to you. You guys...
You can really tell that there's passion into that kind of thing. Like, that's incredible.
The fans of Phineas and Ferb are very good. Just very good. Yeah, so that's Troy's story. The fact that Phineas wanted to be Paris. Phineas...
I'm so sorry, bro.
That's the most problematic thing you've ever done.
I think that's the episode ender.
Yeah, it is.
Dave X Media.